Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Nick, as always you can call me Touch Ninja, and today I have some early gameplay footage of Far Cry 5 for you guys. This was captured at a Ubisoft San Francisco event, and that was held late last week that I was fortunate enough to attend. It's actually their annual pre-Gamescom event that they hold for basically all press and YouTubers, streamers, influencers like that who aren't planning on attending the Europe Gamescom that's held every single year in Cologne, Germany. So if you're one of those people and you weren't planning on going, this is all the stuff that they were bringing to the event. And yeah, so Ubisoft paid for my flight to San Francisco, as well as they paid for 1 night of hotel for me to stay in. I got to capture basically as much as I want in pretty much every single game that they're going to be releasing in the next 6 months. So that being said, I don't really want to say this whole splurge thing every single video. So they paid for my accommodations and flight. I'm not getting paid separately, or this video is not sponsored in any sort of way for me posting this. I get to say whatever I want, get to post whatever I want. As always, if there's any questions, there's always a disclaimer in the description of every video for you guys. So yeah, let's talk about the gameplay. So this demo is actually, in terms of the actual story, is fairly short. There are really only 2 main missions. This opening mission where you need to liberate Fall's End, as well as a pretty cool mission that you're gonna see a little bit later. It introduces a mechanic that it hasn't really been done that well in the previous Far Cry games, but I'll leave it at that. So this opening scene right here, you have your choice of 3 separate partners, as you saw when I selected at the beginning before I started. And as a dog person, a dog lover myself, of course I have to choose Boomer. I don't actually use him that effectively in this. He can scout and he can attack and distract people. He doesn't bring too much attention to himself, but petting him was just fine enough for me. So immediately when I booted up this game, this is the PlayStation 4 version of the game. Not sure if it's the Pro build, but all I know it is the PlayStation 4 version. Even though it looks good in terms of textures, something that I did notice is that the frame rate is a little bit choppier than it has been in previous games. I'm assuming based on how early this build is and how much longer this game has come out. This game doesn't release this year. It comes out, I think, in March of next year, around that time, that this will probably just be fixed. Also take into account that I played Far Cry Primal as well as Far Cry 4 on PC. On console, on PlayStation 4. I played Far Cry 3 on PC, which is definitely one of the better gaming experiences on PC that I have ever had. Far Cry 3 on PC was absolutely gorgeous. But so long as this has a release date that coincides with the PC relaunch, then I'll definitely be playing it on PC as well. Sometimes Ubisoft likes to do a staggered launch because they have very weird ideas on piracy and how to avoid it and all that kind of stuff, with couple Assassin's Creed games as well as Far Cry. They do like a 2-week launch on PC afterwards, after the console launch, which is something I don't wholeheartedly agree with, but yeah. And then I have to make videos for you guys, and I can't really wait 2 weeks. But anyways, back to the gameplay. Stop getting sidetracked here, talking about Ubisoft politics and press theory. So the gameplay, you'll notice, if you remember the gameplay from Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, Far Cry Primal is kind of a bit of an outlier because it was set in a prehistoric era with cavemen and Neanderthals, so we can kind of just put that aside for now. The gameplay, in terms of the gunplay, plays almost identical to that of Far Cry 3 and 4, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. I would say in terms of gun combat, the gunplay combat in Far Cry games have always been passable. They aren't the greatest out there. They're not the most snappy or intuitive in comparison to, let's just say, a Destiny or like a Call of Duty. The gunplay in those games just feel really excellent, but it's not the worst gunplay mechanics out there. So if you were hoping that they would improve the gunplay mechanics at all, then it feels exactly the same, basically. So, and as well, there's something. So you also notice that they have reused a lot of mechanics that existed in Far Cry 3, 4, and Primal, which is something. It's basically it's pretty much, you have to accept it with Ubisoft games. Each game that they come out, you don't really go in expecting anything new, I guess. And example that would definitely be the Assassin's Creed franchise. What you're basically paying for is just the new story and the new environment. Ubisoft is probably one of the better publishers out there that are able to kind of push games out like they are on assembly line. This is a good and bad thing. You get games of franchises that you love a lot quicker. You don't have to wait like 6 or 7 years for a game to come out. But at the same time, there's minor tweaks, but there's usually nothing completely staggering and new. Probably the biggest changes thus far are obviously the partner system that exists in this game, and then overall just the environment. Far Cry 3 was set on Tropical Island. Far Cry 4 was set in somewhere in India, so you had a little bit a mix of jungle as well as winter area, and then with Primal it was completely just off the wall. Do it and create whatever you want in terms of your environment and just call it prehistoric era. So this opening one, I got to play all 3 characters for this opening scene. I started off with Boomer, and then I moved into Grace, who is a support sniper. Basically, she'll just stand at a distance and shoot people for you, kind of like Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5. And then, oh sorry, no, this next one is actually going to be gameplay from Nick, which is, let's just say he's a very colorful character. And he enjoys his plane rides and his death from above. So his mechanic or gameplay change is that he will actually provide air support for you. So this opening scene right here, after I pick up the sniper rifle, you see that large cluster of soldiers or rebels in the middle right there that we encountered. When I first went through it, they kind of dispersed because I took too long. But with Nick, in the case of Nick, I actually called down an airstrike, and he comes down dropping bombs from his civilian souped up military plane that can drive on the water. Drops it right here. And keep in mind, this is a demo, so a little bit later in the next episode that I'll show you, you actually have to kind of encounter Nick, and at the same time he'll still be flying up in the air, which doesn't make a lick of sense at all, because how can he be in the air and on the ground at the same time? Once again, it is a demo. It's just here to showcase some of the gameplay that is available and what the game feels like and sounds like and what it looks like. And in terms of look, it's nothing too crazy. I think of all the recent Far Cry games, Far Cry 3 was definitely my favorite environment to explore. This set is set in like a rural area of Wisconsin, so in modern day settings. So you have modern day weapons, modern day buildings, as well as, oh my god, I remember this. This is my first time. This is my first time rewatching the gameplay because I want to keep it fresh and real. I hate doing post commentary gameplay. It's like the bane of my existence. If I could, I always prefer doing things live, but there's no possibility of doing things live at an event because there's just so many people around you, and then you kind of just feel awkward talking to yourself and yelling as you have someone, nice people, but there's always someone right behind you there to answer your questions. Then I feel like I'm like talking to myself and things like so. It just feels weird, okay? So, but yeah. So, where'd I go? Oh yeah, where I was going. So this game is set in rural Wisconsin, and so modern day area, modern day weapons. And once again, they're doing the same formula. Once again, the same formula as they have in previous games, is that they're establishing a really prominent villain to kind of tie to the game. In this case, it's basically a group of nationalist supremacists who are trying to retake the area. And I forget. I don't remember his name, to be honest. I don't think there'll ever be a Far Cry villain as good as Boss anymore. They can try their best, but it's just never gonna happen. And that's pretty much all I really have gathered from the story thus far. Defeat the bad guy. And that's, oh my god. Anyways, so for the rest of this demo, once again, we're gonna play as Grace, and then I move a little bit to exploration of exploring the area. There were only 2 main missions, and then once you completed the second main mission, the demo ends. So in the middle of all that, I kind of took a little bit of time to explore the wilderness a little bit.
They're gonna be taught a hard lesson. Let's go.
doing a little bit of walking, and the game actually has a very very satisfying fishing mini game within it, kind of on the levels of like a Final Fantasy 15, which was really fun. They actually had like a fishing competition, who could catch the biggest fish at the event. I think I caught like a 50-pound fish in my demo or my playthrough. I think the largest one throughout the entire day was like a 60-pound fish, so I was 10 pounds off of winning. But anyways, I don't like to stretch out commentary much longer than I have to. I think everything that needs to be said can be said already. So I'm going to leave you guys here to enjoy the rest of the gameplay. There's a pretty sweet turret scene a little bit later, followed by all the exploring of the wilderness. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and I will see you guys for part 2 when we move on to the second main mission. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed. As always, if you enjoyed, drop the video a quick thumbs up, and I will see you guys soon. Have a good afternoon.
Haven't felt like this since Afghanistan. Good to see folks back in Falls End. It don't look like much, but it's home, you know? Wind's decent.
Fish are low in fat and high in protein. There's nothing better for a healthy body. Nice day. You impressed Mary May when you helped free Falls End.
Not yet.
Keep doing what...
Catch of the day.
Same fish, different day.
When you fire your
Cover
gun,
me! I'm moving! Okay!
down!
You!
That could have been better. Any port in the storm. No surviving a hit like that. 6 is off. Take this. That could have been worse. That wasn't too bad. Not gonna happen. Still alive. They had a little parade for me here after I was wrong. I hate it. I ain't much of an inspiration.